Hey there, Happy New Year. If there was ever a time to celebrate the passing of the old year and to look forward to the promise of the next, this is it. But unfortunately, around here, the game continues to be to stay away from other people. So I will be celebrating New Year's Eve here at home this year. That's okay by me because I'm older and I really don't go out and celebrate New Year's Eve in public much anymore. As a matter of fact, this year I'm looking forward to being at home, in bed, and fast asleep by midnight. In addition to wishing you a Happy New Year, I wanted to make this video to tell you about a new feature I'm going to have on the channel in 2021. But before I do that, I do have a bit of sad news. Tony Bose, the legendary knife maker, custom knife maker, and case knives spokesperson, has passed away. Apparently he died November 22nd, unexpectedly, of a heart attack. He was 74 years old, so he was not a young man, but this day and age, that's still a little too young. So first and foremost, my condolences go out to his family and friends, those who loved him and knew him best. Yeah, I did this video on November 20th of one of the Tony Bose commemorative SHOT Show knives. And then on November 21st, I put out another video on all the different Tony Bose SHOT Show knives. And on the very next day, apparently he died. I apologize, I didn't know that when I made this video on December 9th on another Tony Bose commemorative SHOT Show knife, his very own pattern and tribal lock. And one of my viewers, friends, and fellow YouTubers, Joe at Messer HQ, informed me of his passing in the comments. So I'm just now getting around to having an opportunity to say something about that. But again, he was very well regarded in the knife community. He apparently was very generous with his time and expertise, so I'm sure he will be missed. Okay, so what I thought I would do with the channel in 2021 is to have a Throwback Thursday. So I know that's not an original concept, it's kind of a thing on social media and Instagram and things. But every Thursday I thought I would put out a previously released video. I think it would really work well for my channel because I have a lot of new subscribers over the last couple of years. And I've got this library of hundreds of videos. It's really kind of embarrassing how many videos I do have. But I've been at this for several years, longer than most people stick with it, because I'm very stubborn and I'm very stupid. What's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, that's me in this channel. But I think I've got some real gems back there. And when I say gems, I don't mean so much the videos, because they're kind of rough. You know, you could argue I'm just now getting competent at this. And my camera wasn't very good. It would have focus problems and things like that. But the knives were gems. And I just don't expect my new subscribers to dig back through, hundreds of videos trying to watch these. As a matter of fact, on the YouTube app for the phone, you can't even access them. So I thought this would be a way to bring some interesting knives back to the forefront for some of my newer viewers. And mostly these videos are shorter. They're usually Swiss Army knives, and they were often done to showcase a knife that I had for sale. So if it says this knife is for sale, please disregard that. They've been sold. Please don't ask me about buying them. I'll try to put a note on each video if it says this knife is for sale, that it's been sold, so there won't be any confusion. But in addition to that, there's just a lot of good information on these videos about these interesting and often rare knives and the history around them. So this being a Thursday, without further ado, let's take a look at one of them. This is a very rare and one of the earliest Tinkers, maybe the earliest version of a Tinker. And if you buy and sell and trade knives like I do, I'm sure you, like me, have some you regret letting go. And this is one of them. It's okay, it went to a good home, and I made a profit, and I know you can't keep them all, but man, I wish I still had this knife. Hi there. I wanted to show you something I think is a little unusual. This is an old vintage Tinker. It's probably the oldest one I've ever had. And you know, the Tinker is very similar to the Spartan in the tool set. And there's a large, except instead of a corkscrew, it's got a Phillips driver on the back. And there's a large Tinker, it's 91 millimeter, or about 3.5 inches. And then there's a small Tinker, an 84 millimeter, or about 3.25 inch model. And this is the smaller one. And it is vintage. You can see that it has the old exposed awl here. The exposed rivets. It has no bail or shackle and no key ring, and it also has no toothpick or tweezers. So this knife, I'm thinking, is from the very early 50s, and let me just walk you through it real quick. The large blade came to me horribly abused. It was poorly sharpened. It was mis-sharpened. You could tell it was one of these deals where somebody took a stone and laid the blade completely flat on it and just did this to both sides. So I mean, it looked practically ruined. So I have had to sand and polish. You can see these blades. They do look a lot better, and there's still some small scratches I couldn't get out, but it has a new edge on it. It's looking really good. It reads Army Swiss. And then on the other side, Victoria, Switzerland stainless. It has a small clip point pen blade, and no tag stamp or anything on that. Has the screwdriver cap lifter, no wire bender. And this is what I think is kind of unusual about this knife. First of all, Victorinox, according to their own records, didn't start putting Phillips drivers with the flat side and the file on them on their knives until 1952. Well, this is a can opener that was used from 1946 up to about 1951 when Victorinox introduced this style can opener, and the one you see today with a small screwdriver. So obviously, I think, maybe wrong about this, but I think Tinkers kind of came out there in the early 50s. I've looked at an old 1942 catalog on SacWiki, and I didn't see anything that looked like a Tinker. So I think they just started using that Phillips driver in the early 50s. So I'm thinking most Tinkers, and most of the ones I've seen, have this kind of screwdriver. I don't know if this is rare or how unusual this is to get a Tinker with this old second generation lobster claw style can opener, but it's the first one I've ever seen, and so I'm going to hold on to this knife for a while. And then back tools, your big sharpened awl. And this knife cleaned up really well. I worked hard on it, but it paid off. And then the screwdriver. The screwdriver has a flat side with the file. That's really hard to get clean because it's just kind of exposed steel, and it's going to corrode, turn black like that. I think they used that up until about 1975. But I'm just really happy the way the knife came out. Really clean. Looks good. It's a fingerprint magnet. One thing I like about these older knives is that nickel silver liners. They just have a smoother feel, better look. They make the knife a little heavier. I think they're stronger than aluminum. And it's got that nickel silver shield inlay that's a little thicker. Kind of turns gold with age. So yeah, there you have it. My new retro vintage Tinker. Thanks for watching.